Hello everybody, welcome back to another episode of our Minecraft Let's Play. So guys, today we have a lot of big plans for today's episode, and that is, of course, we are going to work on the wrestling ring that we started in our last episode. Now, I've been really busy in between episodes gathering a ton of resources, and if we check this chest here, we can see that we have a ton of gravel ready to go, and we have ourselves... Okay, it looks like more than it is, but we have a bunch of shulker boxes of sand, so plenty of resources there. So while I was gathering resources, you guys might notice that I do have an elytra on, and that's because I did some end busting, and for this project, there's no reasonable way that we could have done this without an elytra, so I grabbed myself, a bunch more, so that way we can fly around. It was a cool premise for a while to walk around without a cape on, but, we're trying to build bigger and better here, and not wearing a cape, I'm not going to be able to do that. I also spent a lot of time in between episodes enchanting a bunch of tools, so you guys saw when we were looking at the elytra, I have a bunch of shovels now, and I added some more pickaxes to the collection. So of course, these all have mending on them because these are kind of like work shovels, and then I accidentally put mending on this, so we're going to have at least one tool with mending. I finally did get Silk Touch 2 on a pickaxe, that's this one here, and of course, since it's Silk Touch, it's going to have mending on it just because, you need it on Silk Touch because you can't really repair it too many times. So I say we should hit the ground running this episode and just get started with our project because, well, we have a lot of work ahead of us, and if we just stand here and keep on talking about it, we're never going to get it done. So I need to grab myself some purple dye, which I believe I stuck back up here in my dye room. Not my purple room. Well, it is a purple room. I stuck my purple dye in my purple room. Now, I just need to remember what chest it's in. There we go. So we're going to probably going to take three stacks of that. That'll work out pretty good. Now, remember, like I said last time, we don't actually have to convert this to concrete. We can just keep it as powder because we got the base layer in. So we can just pour water on it and save ourselves some work. So if my buckets should be up here. So I'll just grab a couple buckets to come along with. So yeah, let's head on over there. But before we do, I want to show you guys something else that's actually really cool. And continuing on with things that I built in between episodes, we have ourselves none other than a raid farm. So yeah, I know I said that, of course, we wouldn't be building a bunch of farms that would get us a ton of materials, but I figure a raid farm is kind of necessary because I need totems of undying, because, well, I keep dying. So I went ahead and built this mostly just for totems of undying and emeralds, and you guys know that we're building the villager trading hall, which is actually right over there in that direction. And, we can buy unlimited things, so it'll make the game a little bit easier for us, but this is just Silent Whisper's super simple raid farm design. And if you guys are looking to build it, this probably took me no more than 30 minutes to build. The hardest part was actually getting that villager, which there's the villager up there, in that thing, and that was about it. Now, I mean, this thing is pretty safe for the most part. I have died while using it, and I don't know exactly how, but I'm assuming something spawned up there because they can knock out the leaf blocks, but Silent talked about that in his video, so it's not a super big deal. But yeah, basically just stand here, get free XP, and the raids just keep coming. So, I mean, pretty simple farm, and then, of course, the drops all go down there, and then I have a storage system, which is just kind of a bunch of chests. And yeah, that's all you do. You just stand here and get XP. The only thing you don't get XP from is Ravengers. Alright, so I got us a nice little area set up just to kind of protect us from, monsters and stuff while we're out here. And you guys can see, this is how far we got on our wrestling ring last episode. So I got schematics and did some mathematics, if you guys can hear this paper in the background. So I drew up some schematics for our build here. And I'm thinking we're going to start with just doing the purple. So we're going to do this section of purple here and this section of purple here. And they are pretty big. So these are going to take a lot of purple. So of course I put that in the wrong direction so I can't open it. But we need to start off, of course, by making ourselves a ton of... Oh, did I mess all this up? No, I can open this one. So we need to make ourselves, of course, a ton of purple concrete powder, which I'm going to go ahead and do now. And then, like I said, we actually don't have to make it into concrete. We can just start off by putting it in there and then pouring water on top of it to finish it up. So how much of this can I actually make? Okay, well, that's a good start. Well, let's see how far this gets us. So I'll go ahead and just toss this back in here. So I'm going to see how far these, 10 stacks get us? Well, hopefully this will get us somewhat far. I guess we'll see. Well, I guess to answer the age-old question of how far will 10 stacks of concrete powder get us, the answer is not far. Not far at all. So we're going to have to make a lot more concrete and concrete powder, but not a big deal. We have a ton of gravel and sand, so we got plenty of resources to do this. But while I check back in with you guys on this, I figured I'd tell you guys a funny little story here. So my wife actually enjoys playing Minecraft. Now, me and her play Minecraft, of course, very differently. You know, you guys come on here and watch, you know, my Let's Play series, and this is like a long, you know, standing world. It's been around for a while. I think we're almost on 2 years in this world, something like that. Now, her, on the other hand, she likes to start up a new world, explore, and, you know, just gather like random resources and walk around. And then, you know, she'll delete the world and start a new one. So, you know, everyone has their own different style to Minecraft, but that's how she enjoys it, right? So she's playing last night and started up a new world. And she goes on this, it was a beach, this random beach. And she happened to see this like netherrack. And, you know, with her not playing Minecraft that much, she didn't really know what it was. So I told her it was just, you know, an abandoned nether portal. They're usually not even really worth checking out because it's just, you know, a bunch of gold tools. Nothing really too exciting ever in there. You know, maybe you'll get like a flint and steel or something. But so, you know, whatever. So she, you know, starts exploring because she's just excited to have found something like this. So whatever. So she digs around and manages to uncover the portal because it was hidden under all this sand. And then I'm like, well, there's usually a chest, but it's like, you know, right near where the portal is, right? So she's like, all right, you know, so she digs around some more and she finds a chest. And I'm like, yeah, it's just gonna be some gold stuff, right? So she breaks the chest because she has a full inventory and just lets everything, you know, kind of fall on the ground. So I'm sitting there and there's a golden apple. And I'm like, I'm like, what are the odds that she got a gapple on her, you know, first real try at finding a golden apple or, you know, a abandoned nether portal or anything along those lines? And I'm like, nah, there's no way it can be. It's probably just, you know, a regular apple, a regular golden apple. It's not a gapple. So she clears out enough inventory space, and lo and behold, without even trying, she found a gapple. Now, if you guys remember when we started this world, in order to get the achievement for the stencil, which is, you know, golden apple on a banner, we had to actually start up a separate world to get it. But without even trying, she finds one. So, yeah, needless to say, I might be inviting into her into this world more often, and maybe she can find me some in here, because we definitely need gapples, because, well, all my achievements reset, so we have to redo all of them, and I've actually been having some fun in between episodes doing that, too. But, alright, I'm going to buckle down and get back to work, and we're going to see, hopefully, by the next time I see you guys, we'll have all the purple in. Alright guys, so after a quick resupply, this is our current progress. So I did start putting the turnbuckles in. So this is that, you know, bar that's, you know, goes from the floor up and holds the ropes. So that is in at least, and that is nowhere near how tall it's going to be. But I figured just get it in, because in that way we can kind of get some of the purple back, and I don't need to make as many purple blocks. And then we started working on the lettering, and the lettering is going to be, well, the hardest part, because I don't really have a full plan for it, but I have an idea for it. So I did start working out the R, and that's how big the R is going to be. And then I set up this little pad out here, so I can go ahead and just take a view. Ugh. Yeah, so you can go ahead and take a look. So that's the size of our R, and I know it's hard to see because it's just a real thin black outline, but yeah, that's the size of our R. And then the rumble part's going to fit down here, so the UMBL will fit in here, and then the royal part will fit up here. So the R and the E take up like the whole space. So I'm going to continue working on this lettering. We have a fair amount of yellow, so I can make some good progress on the letters, and I have a decent amount of black. But the good thing is, since we're working over the ocean, I can just kill squid as they spawn. So we kind of have an infinite supply of black dye as we're building this. So let me go ahead and work on the letters. I was going to time lapse this, but this is going to take a really long time to figure out exactly, you know, the shape and the design, and I doubt you guys want to sit there and watch me tear this down 1,500 times. So we're going to do one more cut, and then we'll see what the at least rumble part looks like. Alright guys, so we have went ahead and got some letters in. So we have the letter R and the letter E from rumble. And let me tell you, Like I said, you guys didn't want to watch me tearing this down and building back up again and tearing it down again. Yeah, that's pretty much what this was. This took forever, but I'm actually really happy with how the R turned out. I didn't think that was going to come out as good as it was, and definitely didn't think the E was going to come out as good as it did either. But, really proud with how those both came out. Now, like I said, we have to hit the U, M, B, and L in here, and then the word royal up here. So a little bit smaller letters, and they'll take a little bit more time, but I'm actually getting short on dye for the most part. So what I went ahead and did is I just went ahead and made the rest of the concrete I had, or at least the gravel and sand I had, into purple. So what I want to do is just tack this purple onto this area over here to fill in this wall. I think I should have enough to finish this gap. If I do, then I'll just start over there, and that way it'll make it look like we did a little bit more this episode, because let's face it, it doesn't look like we did a lot, but we definitely did do a lot. And as it stands, like, my elytra is beat right now, my pick is beat, just from tearing stuff down, building it back up again. So what I'm going to do is, after I get done with this, I'm going to go AFK to mob spawner, probably just my general mob spawner, to just repair all my stuff. And then when I get done with that, I want to do one more thing this episode, and that is there's this little strip of land over here, and let me actually show you guys that. It actually goes inside the wrestling ring. Now, it's not like prudent that we tear this down, but as you see over here, yeah, the land kind of drops down. Actually, our thing kind of goes under through the ground. So what I want to do is chop this down at least a little bit, just enough to see, like, where we are. So I have plenty of shovels and everything, and pickaxes. I know I showed you guys in between episodes, that's what I've been doing. So I want to chop this land back, so I'm actually going to do that and just stick up a beacon, and then that way we can have a ton of resources for later. So basically we're going to level this island. So let me get started on that, and I will see you guys in a time lapse. Alright guys, there we go. So we went ahead and tore almost all this landmass out. We got a pretty good dent taken out of it. So what ended up happening is, of course, my camera account, I used my Xbox to record and my controller died. And I don't have batteries, so that's why we kind of had to cut it off. But I did continue on a little bit more after that. And of course, this is how far we are. Now, if you remember, we started all the way over here. We had to dig all this down. So, like I said, pretty good dent in what we had to do. So let's go check out, how our tools are doing, because let's face it, those took a beating. So here's everything we have to fix with mending, and I probably could get away with that one too. So we have like 8 tools we got to fix, and I actually did break a pick, so we lost one pick, but not too big of a deal. And if we come over here and check out our resources, pretty much we filled up all these chests. I didn't think we would, but majority of them just stone. Actually, it's a bad example, but stone, dirt, andesite, sand, cobblestone. We have a ton of resources now that we can use to build with, and we can actually start making mud too, because that was actually holding us back, was not having dirt. But now we have plenty of dirt, and then of course we got a bunch of copper, coal, and like occasional gunpowder and iron, mob drops, stuff like that. So yeah, pretty successful, but we still have a lot of work cut out for us. We got to finish cutting back this island here, which we'll probably end up doing next episode. And then of course we have to continue on with this massive project, which, like I said, it doesn't seem like we got a lot done on it, but this is actually a ton. So yep, we'll continue working on this next episode. So if you guys enjoyed today's episode, make sure you leave a like, make sure you leave a comment, and as always, make sure you subscribe. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.